How's it going, everyone? It's Kyle from vulcanarmoryprops, and welcome back to another segment of our Titanfall 2 Pulse Blade Pilot build log. I know I have missed out on, I think it's 3 weeks now, so this is going to be a mega compilation on all the progress I've made across those 3 weeks. Now I have quite a bit to show you, and I'm really excited to show you guys. So I'm going to keep this chitter chatter short, and I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. Okay guys, so one of the first things I'm going to show you is the wristbands. They're not done, but I made a pretty good progress on them. I might have mentioned how I did it before. Basically, I'm using my I'll show you in a sec. I'm going to use my 1/4" EVA foam for the base of the band. There's some nylon strapping for an aesthetic, and which will also be used as part of the strapping. And I've made some of the plates via 3D modeling, 3D printing, and some hand building themselves. And here we go. Here's kind of what one of the wrist pieces are, wristbands, and I'm going to break this down and really show you what everything is. So on top we have all our pieces. We have the little side panels, but yeah, these are some layers of styrene, and I used some heat to shape them. But I didn't want to have to go through doing this 4 times total. That would have been a lot of time, so I made it easier on myself and actually molded it and then made a castle. All of the final pieces here, these are actually plastic urethane that were used. And then this middle piece here, bring this over to the light. This piece I 3D modeled and 3D printed. It would have been a lot faster. Wasn't too hard to model, wasn't too hard to print, and wasn't too hard to clean up, and wasn't too hard to mold. So I counted for this little ridge underneath because there's some details that actually come from the forearm and slide under the wrist, so I kind of accounted for that here, so those parts can bend and kind of move linearly. I just dropped that, oh no, without really destroying or almost affecting its connection. So clearly this is just some nylon strapping, nylon webbing that just is going to go on top and also act as a strap for the base. And then this is my 1/4" EVA foam, and I kind of measured out a width for the edges that I then beveled. You see how that kind of curves inward. I took a cylindrical object, and I don't know where I placed it now, and after heating up I kind of pressed it and warped and bent it a couple takes here and there and got the desired curve, so when it bends around it looks like that, and that was exactly what I was going for, so that turned out great. So those were some of the small things I had to work on, but those are actually turning out really well. It's kind of hard to get a base assembly or a mock assembly to show you what that would look like on my arm. Alright, so there's still a couple big-ish things that got done, but I want to show you the other set of small items that were done, yet came out actually a little bit better than I anticipated, and those were the forearm straps. If you remember, I talked about doing all those buckles that I 3D printed, cleaned up, molded, and casted. Those aren't painted or primed yet, but they are assembled onto the straps, trying to make the suit as real as possible. Like, if I can not use foam for certain smaller things, I want to try and use the more accurate material that would have been used. For example, these straps look almost like a leather. There's some tensile strength to them, and I had a concept, and so I was going to actually use nylon webbing as my base. I was actually going to get some leather, and I was actually going to cover the nylon with this leather, but I was going to cut out the according geometry for what I saw with my references. Even though I would only need a small amount, that's the leather there is kind of, it's expensive, and I didn't think I'd want to spend that much money for something that small, but I might be able to make a different way and have just as good of an outcome. Right here is one set of the forearm straps. This set is for the upper arm. This is the inside, this is the outside. Upper, inside, and clearly outside. These are made out of 2 layers of craft foam, and it had this tan end piece here, and I went and did a detail X end stitch, which is actually what was there. I'm just flailing this around here, but it looks good. It has the nice aesthetic to it, and there's the top part, and I did the stitch down the middle, sort of following everything's kind of fine. But this is mock assembly of all the straps on one of the forearms. I'm really happy with how these turned out. These look really, really great for my backup method. They did turn out better than I thought. And against the green forearm wrap, and when it's all wrapped together, it looks awesome. And I really, really like it. Before I get to the actual big thing, there's one more thing I want to go through. And I was talking about this a lot on my previous vlog. So here they are. In the end of the last vlog, they were just the raw material. Here I've been using some smooth on Epsilon, but this is what they look like. And this is only after one coat. I need to go back and coat it 1 or 2 more, and I have some ideas for how I'm going to finish this. With the shape, I really wanted to count for making it in one piece, but it looks like it's a lot of separate pieces. I guess separate won't even be the right term, but definitely creating this nice separation between it and carrying that through all the way. And it's super light. It's probably lighter than what the EVA foam would have done. Oh, I should mention that was made out of EPS, aka insulation foam, hand carved and shaped down to fit inside that shoulder piece perfectly, the right way it needed to be, and it really looks nice. If you guys want to see kind of my thinking process of how I made that when I was making it, and you guys can see how it looks inside the pieces, go visit the other vlog. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description below to go ahead and check that out. But now it is on to the last parts that have been completed since the last vlog. So here we are. We have 2 thigh wrap bases. They are not done. I still have to add the band. There's the black stripe. There's some details that go on, which I also have. There's the little circle pods that go on it. 3D modeled this really quickly, 3D printed it. Just in the process of cleaning it up. So I had to remake my template. My initial template just didn't look as good after studying the pieces more. My prototype though was still a good prototype. It still proved how I wanted to do this. And then this is here, if you recognize from the forms, of that same tan fabric. And I really like the frayed edges because it already helps with weathering. Interference. Please don't walk on my stuff again. These are really, really great. I'm just really happy with how these turned out. Especially when you kind of pull it, loop it, you can see how it really conforms at a proper angle that they're supposed to and being pulled. So I can't wait to finish these. Hopefully within the next week I'll have the details cut out and the bands and stuff like that, although maybe even painted, but I can't wait to figure all that out. So yeah, those are 2. So the last thing I have to show you guys is another big part of the suit. I should also mention, other than the helmet and the jump kit, all the main pieces, all the armor pieces, I should say, are completed for the suit. There's still some smaller stuff. There are still like the hands and the finger plates, finishing up the wrist pieces. There's still the gear on the vest, but that's not really the armor parts. Those are more of the it's the tactical gear. So, but this big element is not the tactical vest or harness. It is the green vest, kind of just the base, almost like padded vest that goes underneath that. And by looking at it, it's a pretty simple design, and this green vest is actually, after studying it, I recognized the pattern of it because it was something that actually my mom made for me before, and I knew it was gonna be perfect for this. And so I went ahead to my local fabric shop, picked up that pattern, and I've never ever done pattern sewing before, so I'm using and following my mom's expertise. So I am having help trying to figure out how to really, put the elements together. I've never really done this before. My mom has, because she, as you've seen with all the background stuff, she does this a lot. So, but I am playing a major role. I'm really enjoying sewing this and putting this together. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. So right here we basically just have a big clump of fabric, but if I can try and show you what it might look like, I'll just try and hang it over this chair here. There we go. So this is what we have so far. The back is here. Pretty much got the front. We have to get that attached, get the collar and zipper, but I just really like seeing the seams here, the top stitch. I really like top stitches. Got the front all done, so I know it's really kind of hard to tell. It almost looks really just kind of like a rectangle here, but I know it's supposed to look like, and I can see it turning out really, really well. And so I'm kind of imagining what this is gonna look like on me with all the arm wraps on and maybe some of the armor on it, and I'm getting just super, super, super excited. Honestly, tomorrow I actually might be able to get that green vest part completely sewed and finished. I'm definitely, if I can get that vest on, I'm definitely gonna suit up with everything I have and probably just like tape on all the armor and show you guys what that looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's mega compilation of the Titanfall 2 Pause Play Pilot Build Log series. I cannot wait to show you guys more progress. I cannot wait to have the suit done, and I cannot wait to show you guys what it's gonna look like when it's all done. So thank you guys for joining me on this week's segment of this build series, and I will see you all in the next vlog.